Okay, so let's start with the definition of a cauldron, which is a large pot or a kettle for cooking or boiling over an open fire with a lid, and it frequently has an arc-shaped hanger. Also, sometimes it has handles, sometimes it has feet. There is a rich history of cauldron lore in religion, mythology, and folklore. The etymology. The word cauldron is first recorded in Middle English as caudron. It was borrowed from Norman caudron and in French caudron. It represents the phonetical evolution of Vulgar Latin, caldero, for Classical Latin, caldarium, which means hot baths, that derives from cal, idus, which means hot. The Norman French word replaces the Old English kettle spelled C-E-T-E-L and the German spelling, which is K-E-S-S-E-L, Dutch, which is K-E-T-E-L, and Middle English, which was C-H-E-T-E-L. The word kettle is borrowing off the Old Norse variant ketil, which is K-E-T-I-L-L, which means cauldron. The history of cauldrons can be found from the late Bronze Age period, and these include vast ones with a volume of 60 to 70 liters, which is 16 to 18 U.S. gallons. Symbolism and mythology. Cauldrons have largely fallen out of use in the developed world as a cooking vessel. While still used for practical purposes, a more common association in Western culture is the cauldron's use in witchcraft, which is a cliché popularized by various works of fiction such as William Shakespeare's play Macbeth. In fiction, witches are often preparing their potions in a cauldron. Also, in Irish folklore, a cauldron is purported to be where leprechauns keep their gold treasure. In some forms of Wicca, appropriating aspects of Celtic mythology, the cauldron is associated with the goddess Ceridwen. Welsh legend also tells of cauldrons that were useful to warring armies. In the second branch of the, I'm going to try and say this, Mabinogi, in the tale of Bronwyn, the daughter of Lear, the cauldron is a magical cauldron in which dead warriors could be placed and then be returned to life, save that they lacked the power of speech. It was suspected that they lacked souls as well. These warriors could go back into battle until they were killed again. In Wicca and some other forms of neo-pagan or pagan belief system, the cauldron is used in magical purposes. Most often, a cauldron is made of cast iron and is used to burn loose incense on a charcoal disc to make black salt, which, by the way, is used in banishing rituals. So if somebody thinks that their home is haunted, they can use black salt to sprinkle around the doors and windows. I actually own black salt, and it was given to me as a gift. The cauldron is also used for mixing herbs or to burn petitions, which are paper with words of power or wishes written upon them. Cauldrons symbolize not only the goddess, but they also represent the womb because it holds something, and on an altar, it represents earth because it is a working tool. Cauldrons are often sold in New Age or metaphysical stores and may have various symbols of power inscribed on them. The Holy Grail of Arthurian legend is sometimes referred to as a cauldron, although traditionally the grail is thought of as a handheld cup rather than a large pot that the word cauldron usually conjures up. This may have resulted from the combination of the Grail legend with earlier Celtic myths of magical cauldrons. The common translation for ding is often referred to as a cauldron. In Chinese history or culture, possession of one or more ancient dings is often associated with power and domination over the land. Therefore, the ding, cauldron, is often used as an implicit symbol for power. The term inquiring of the ding is often used to symbolize the use of divination for the quest of power. One example of the ding cauldron and gaining power over the traditional provinces of China is the 9 tripod cauldrons, which is sometimes regarded as myth, sometimes as history. Pagan women and men would use cauldrons to add herbs, like we said before, and other objects to conjure up some sort of I guess the only way to say it is a spell. They would say their words over this concoction and hope that it would be carried off in the steam to help them with their wishes. Pagans / witches in general were not making potions to hurt people. As pagans, most pagans use these types of things for healing, to bring wealth, to bring health. So that is another reason why cauldrons are associated with witches. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I covered lots of things that have to do with witches, like black cats and brooms. One of my favorite videos that I have done on the 31 days of Halloween is the video about why witches and brooms are connected. It was either last Halloween or the previous one. If you'd like to go look that up, it is all kinds of crazy. Very, very interesting. Something that I never would have imagined that brooms would be connected with witches for. Again, thank you for coming, and have a good night.